Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right. Well, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, and I tried to make a video yesterday, and I had the sound unintentionally set on a different output or input, so there's no sound in the video, unfortunately, and yesterday wasn't such a great day anyways. Sadly, seems that a drone struck the Chernobyl, the outer rim that they had built, sort of as a reminder of the disaster that happened there. There was a nuclear problem in Europe. The greatest of all time was in Ukraine, and I think Russia denied that they intentionally tried to bomb the nuclear plant, but they deny almost everything, I mean, I'm at the point today where I think every Russian in the whole world is totally brainwashed and can only be a spy or a traitor to the free world individuals, until they are reprogrammed and it's officially understood that they have completed their transformation. Put on the new personality, as the Bible says, the Holy Spirit, which we try to imitate. We try to use God's active force, like kind of like Star Wars, but it's difficult to do it in a world where whereas there's so much stress just to survive that people need to unwind, they need to relax, and sometimes they go get a milkshake or eat junk food and candy or whatever, just to get through the day, get a cheeseburger or something, and feel like the world and life ain't so bad. But yeah, and sadly that's usually my reaction, is to just celebrate and try to ignore the problems. But the problems are, the fact is, we all have a responsibility to speak up about what is trying to ruin our future of our families and our future descendants, and just destroy the whole world possibly with these nuclear threats. Russia needs to be disarmed completely. They can never be trusted again. I don't know why we are. The whole world is just sort of letting them possibly go back to business as usual. It's just ridiculous, absurd, rubbish. Extreme confusion, misunderstanding the reality that Russia has committed thousands of war crimes that have been documented and can be proven. there are over 100,000. As strange as that number may sound, but um, to really get the evidence for all of those 100,000 war crimes and to be able to expose them properly, they need a certain type of funding for a certain type of area in the Ukrainian government or military that is able to devote the time and energy to expose and research those problems that have already taken place in the past few years. I saw some confusing news reports that were related to the peace negotiations and the fact that the European Union and maybe Zelensky are wondering why or how these peace negotiations can take place without their presence. That it's not logical. It's not doesn't seem like reality that they will accomplish anything substantially valid. That without the people who know the most about what has happened and what the solutions have been, the possibilities, options that are on the table for those who have enough power to actually make something happen, like possibly Donald Trump. If he happens to be sincere and wanting to bring justice to the situation, but aside from that, I know that he definitely probably wants to see an end to the war. I wouldn't, doubt that at all because, but that's in line with Russia as well, because the Kremlin doesn't want to lose another million. How many soldiers already? 850,000 have died or been wounded. It's a staggering number to comprehend. And like I said, it's been kind of a crazy day. I haven't got all my marbles today. It's I'm pretty sad that an hour and a half of information that I recorded yesterday was, you know, without sound. It's kind of frustrating, but I believe that was God's will, I guess, and that whatever is really important for me to say will be in other videos, I guess. I'm trying to make videos better than the previous one, hopefully correcting my English skills a little and working on those. I know I have some little nuances, like I say, and I don't want to be that way, barely ever. So I'll try to correct and improve my skills for communicating. Well, so a lot of plane crashes. We can't be sure if Russia influenced those, but it is very mysterious that they all happened in such a close proximity, the United States, and similar to the Bermuda Triangle, just the mystery of why so many happened in a short amount of time, but it could have been just the energy of the universe, the confusion that was taking place there with all the changes going on in the United States. Suddenly all these governmental changes with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. So hopefully no more plane crashes, and like I said, soon enough we will get a better idea of where Donald Trump truly stands on the issue of the war. I thought that his vice president, J.D. Vance, said that at the Germany Munich conference with NATO and the European Union officials and the European government officials, prime ministers, and other representatives, I could have sworn he said that. Well, I'm going to try to combine two videos and I'll just show it to you, but I didn't even want to hear anything after that. I mean, he was, according to my understanding, he was going off about freedom of speech in Europe or something, but that's something for them to deal with. I wouldn't be distracting attention too much from the priority issue at hand, which is Russia and the way that they are killing civilians in Ukraine on an almost daily basis, and those are war crimes. I mean, if Ukraine was bombing civilians, and instead of like oil refineries, Russia would be making a crazy big deal about it. And just wait, they will. If something like that starts to happen, why would it happen? Well, I don't really want to speculate about that. It's just that eventually Ukraine will be past the point of having a mercy for Russian civilians because of the pain that their people have gone through. I mean, they were saying sometimes people have amputations and they go through maybe like 50 surgeries or something. It's happened according to what they've reported. So, I mean, they love their people, they care about their people and their soldiers, and they obviously try their best to get them back to a normal state of consciousness and reality, like whether even if they've lost some of their limbs, they try their best to stabilize them if it takes many operations, and so just that it's got to stop. Eventually, Ukraine will probably run out of forgiveness and mercy for Russian attacks of their civilians, and will start bombing just anything in Russia. I mean, if the war stopped, I don't see, because of just the karma of the universe and just the karma of humanity as we've known it in the past, I don't see how the drone attacks can stop, regardless of where they're coming from. We believe that most of them are coming from Ukraine right now, but in the future, I mean, Ukraine will always want justice. They'll want revenge if they could get it. They probably would. I just don't know how it's going to stop in the future, and they won't, if it's coming from unknown sources rather than military definitive launches that are understood and shown to the whole world. Well, if they say it's this area a drone came from, they don't say, well, here's where they're hiding and here's where they have their little drone fort or something like that, or hideout. shelter or something. Yeah, the Bible talks about locusts, swarms in the Revelations. And if someone said, "Is that drones?" I mean, obviously it probably has something to do with drones. Drone attacks. There's been so many, and they've already done so much damage. And not just the fact that they are like Russian problems, but that Russia gets a lot of their drones from Iran. Uh, Iran is they make these drones called Shahed drones, and they sell those to Russia. So, and then North Korea, I don't know what they supply Russia with, but surely they've given a hell of a lot of weapons, certainly that we know of, just like trains full of missiles, and then sending weapons with their soldiers, probably. But I don't know why they've tried to keep the North Korea presence so low key in Ukraine, and we've only seen a couple of the prisoners, two of the guys that were POWs, and not really sure what happened to them, but they're probably still recovering. So I don't know. I went to the dentist, and I was planning to get a full mouth extraction because I was just getting tired of the pain in my mouth and the confusion with appointments and stuff. But I decided that it possibly had something to do with going to a different office, even though it was the same company, of why they didn't pull the teeth on the time I had an appointment. And because you got to go to consultations, you got to do these other things, and it's like I just don't have time to revolve my life around those kind of things, like appointments and stuff. And it's just all this waiting for them to deny you because your blood pressure reading is too high. And once again, it was too high. My second number was over 100 for the first like 7 or 8 tries, and then there was like 4 or 5 where it was like 95 to 100. So they finally agreed to. But the dentist saved me though, and I applaud him, his intelligence. He's obviously on a higher level of understanding of what needs to be done for my situation for some reason, which shows that with all the schooling, they do care, or it's possible for them to truly care. And he just said, I'm not going to pull all your teeth, because even though you've scheduled that and you've consulted and everything, your teeth really aren't that much of a problem. So as you can see, they look pretty normal, but I've had 4 extractions since I've moved to the California desert cities, and I don't know. The one I got the other day, a few days ago, was 2 extractions, and the ones he pulled were root canals that could have been turned into crowns, which I would imagine the price of those compiled on each other could have been possibly, after the crowns, like maybe 4,000 each, up to or more. Who knows? But I know that the full mouth extraction, the number I saw was 31,000 shown to me, and then they said that the insurance was that I was using, Delta Dental Insurance, would pay for something like 17,000. and that there was a part of it that was like 932 or something that was sort of an option for them. They weren't obligated to pay that. And I, knowing my dental insurance company from the past transactions, I believe that they would have charged me for that because I got so many denials in the mail over treatment that it seems like that's all I get from them. No matter what they approve, I just have gotten so many denial letters. So instead of 400 a month or 394, it was going to be about 400 or 336 or something. And that was going to be for 12 months. Or 24. And the only way for me to refinance it was to wait like 3 to 6 months and then pay like $25 to extend the 24 months and then just pay less, I could pay more than the $394 monthly and to lower it, but it would only be like, it would be $240 just to lower it $10, and that's just not enough if I'm going to pay that much, because that's, not only is that my spending money is the $394 basically, and then it would be my food money too, the extra 240. On top of that, I have, a little leverage, like maybe 100 for unexpected purchases that come up, because a month is an eternity, when you're on welfare or Social Security, and you don't have much money in the bank, like I've got about $20 usually, like right now and stuff, and it's only halfway through the month, and it seems like it's always like that, because I usually spend so much during the first part of the month, like ordering all the things that I need for the month, like groceries and stuff. Fortunately, my insurance provider, even though they usually give me like 100 a month, I guess that amount's going to stay the same. But now, instead of just the shakes that I was getting, these vanilla Ensure protein shakes, immune system support. There's a lot of protein in them, actually. I remember getting Ensure when I was like in high school, but it says 75% more protein. So those were tasty, but they really didn't have much protein at all, because these have what I would call a lot of sugar, a lot of sodium for the size of it. It's like a couple of granola bars or something, I don't know, of sugar. And the protein's only 32% of the daily value, even though it says 75% more. So imagine what it used to be when those drinks were still, when I was in high school, they were still kind of expensive, in my opinion. So the European Union seems frustrated about the confusion with Donald Trump and his administration, Pete Hegseth and J.D. Vance, and the one that is the traveling to Ukraine to deal with them. Well, there's a couple of guys, actually. There's about 5 of them. There are 4 or 5 that are involved, in the serious business of the whole thing. But they are sort of leaning in directions that I don't feel are the best for Ukraine, possibly, with what they're saying, and it's too bad. It's unfortunate that that's happening, because it would be truly a shame to find out that Trump and his devotees are part of the Russia machine, the supporting their federation and the Kremlin government and their interests. because that would be totally against Europe. I mean, well, I mean that's what Europe is saying. Like, what's going on? We're the ones who know about what has happened in Ukraine, and we have been here the whole time dealing with their threats. Like, okay, they threaten to bomb like London and or England, and even especially their propaganda news, which is like the the largest of their TV shows or something, and the people, the way they talk there about how they have all these European options of nuclear targets, or what their Oreshnik missile, which is like the second closest thing to like a nuclear bomb, and there's no way to like stop those missiles according to Russia, and they joke around about it like, yeah, we challenge anybody to try to shoot one of these down, and why would they say that? They have no respect for England or the English language, and they certainly don't have respect for Europe, the European neighbors. It's unclear what they would attack next, but Zelensky has alerted us to the fact that Ukrainian military intelligence has found that Russia is planning to attack a European country in 2026, or possibly sometime this year. And why are they planning that? Well, because they are everything that we've been trying to tell everyone that they are. They are what General Patton from the movies they used to televise when I was 8 years old on normal TV. We would see those movies. They would say War is Hell Week continues with the Dirty Dozen or the Green Berets or Patton. The war movies, like I don't know many of those old war movies, but I watched a few of them, or parts of them. And George Patton was the general of America for maybe World War II or something. That one of them that understood how bad Russia really was. You could tell by his quotes that he was in the same frame of mind about Russia that we are today. NAFO, what we call NAFO or NAFO, I don't know how to pronounce NAFO, or the fellas, the doggies, the cartoon doggies that you see on Twitter profiles and stuff. That a lot of them are trying to fight against Russian disinformation by clarifying, lies and exposing lies that come from the Russian media and stuff like that, or that come from any source that is believing they know something about the conflict and they've got it all wrong, and they're showing that to the world on Twitter. So I was involved in that for a while, and I tried my best to repost things that were what I believe were 100% true, and that were going to be in Ukraine's best interest for, saving them in any way from the trouble, of Russia and their mercilessness and their merciless attacks, which are almost daily for these past few years. Today is Valentine's Day, 2/14, February 14th, 2025 is the year. I could have sworn that J.D. Vance said that the primary issue at hand, or of our concern, is not Russia when it comes to Europe, but the enemy within Europe. Whatever the fuck he was talking about, Um, what the hell did he mean by that? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it or stress, but thank God I'm far from Europe when he says something like that, because it's the most dangerous thing I've ever heard a government official say over there, other than Russia's allies. And just unbelievable. I had to stop it. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear anything else from him until he clarifies that one thing. That Russia is the main problem in the world today that needs to be addressed. Unless he's completely focused on the problem in Israel, then I would maybe understand what he was sort of getting at, maybe. That maybe Israel was our priority over Ukraine for whatever reason, but I don't believe that at all. I think that he was saying exactly what it sounded like. Russia's not much of a problem. The problem is something inside of the Europe itself that is causing the trouble that the United States of America should be concerned about. The USA. I disagree, and I can't believe a word he says after that until he clarifies that. Or if the world, somehow gets an understanding of that and explains it in a way that makes sense to me. Because I haven't seen people's reaction to it. It just happened like yesterday, They were in Munich, Germany, and just unbelievable. I mean, when it's come down to this particular point where now that England has for months, many months, allowed Ukraine to shoot missiles into Russian territory, I mean, that only tells me one thing. First of all, well, two things. First of all, that England will not accept any kind of threat, especially in nuclear, to London or any of their territory in Great Britain or England, the United Kingdom. So, and I know that the Parliament and that here the Prime Minister and the Parliament is doing their best to get the message across to Russia, like, hey, you better believe we're not just ignoring this problem with Ukraine. We support it like 101%, and that's why they're not saying, they don't want to scare their people. They don't want to, we don't want to scare the United States citizens either, because a lot of civilians, panic is just going to bring a lot of trouble, but we don't want to panic about it. But the fact is, it's like the United States and England are at war with Russia, and I sort of felt that at the beginning, I thought, what else can it be, considering how the level that we're involved with it, when Joe Biden was the president and that was starting to happen. I looked at it as nothing other than war between the United States and Russia. So that never changed. But now that England's involved, I'm a little more emotional about it, because, I know that England will continue on, even if they were bombed and destroyed. There's a lot of Brits all over the world. So, we'll be alright. But it's too bad, It's too bad it's really like there's a war going on with England, and if Russia thinks they can win a war against the English, he's out of his fucking mind. I can't believe how uneducated he truly is, obviously. And their government and how brainwashed they truly are by their frozen wasteland of fucking orcs and barbarians and fucking animals. We gotta shut the whole thing down somehow, but we'll figure it out. One thing at a time, but I know that God will take care of Israel. Israel has learned to rely on God, you know. We don't have to worry too much about them, other than if they ask for it, help, and specify their needs, you know. I think Israel has a lot of support all around the world. The ones that care with all their heart and soul and mind and spirit and bodies, and they do whatever they can to fix the situation there. And we'll get to it after the problem with Russia is solved, because, like I said, with George Patton, it's like we've waited our whole lives for this problem to be solved. Whatever we were distracted with all these years, I don't know, but I know that my life, in a lot of ways, was kind of like a dream. And I knew that something was wrong the whole time. I could feel it at school. I could feel it in churches. I felt it in job situations. I had probably 25 or more jobs, 20 to 25 real jobs, and over the years. Yeah, there was obviously a problem, and it was also obvious by listening to the radio and you know, more than ever out in the Empire, well, the Inland Empire as it's called, Coachella Valley, is the desert area. They don't have like love songs and stuff. I mean, Delilah was on for a few years, and then it all changed, and there was just no love song channel, and then finally the gays, the LGBTQ community, started playing a lot more variety of stuff that was a lot of it was like familiar stuff from the dance music of our past in California, Southern California, you know, stations. But the I don't know, they on the weekend they have the old Casey Kasem top 40 countdowns and stuff. You know, there's variety, but it's just not what I would say is correct. You know, there's something wrong. There's something wrong when there's no love song. There's no mellow, soft music channels and stuff, in my opinion. And with cable, I just lost all hope for the future of it. By the time it was 2011, I just said, forget it. Cable went to hell, and I don't think there's a way to save it. There might be another outlet of entertainment in the future that will be maybe similar to cable, but cable TV, I believe, just was too bad. And I know because I had it on kind of in the background or something for like 2006 or 7 to 2011. And then after that, I think Adele took over the radio. They really played her a lot out here. So much so that it was hard to believe that she was even representing England, you know. But apparently, she was just really popular on the radio stations here. So, you know, good for her. They do play a lot of Dua Lipa, who I think maybe is, I don't know if she's from England, but she seems like a Brit who lives in Florida maybe, or possibly has lives in England and just is popular on the radio stations here. They played a lot of her, so good for her. And I love all her stuff. I'm not very much of a Adele fan, but Dua Lipa, I seem to like all of her songs. Um, so yeah, the dentist, the anesthesia is something I think people have to pay a little bit extra for, and I guess I forgot to request it when I had the appointment. The appointment was during the war, so if I was tortured a little bit unintentionally, I suffered with Ukraine, and I have the memory. I wasn't knowledgeable enough about dental practices that I thought to tell them, I'm not really a man. I mean, I'm a man, but I don't I don't like to feel pain really. But they say that you have to have a dental office in a hospital if you really want the real anesthesia that puts you to sleep with the laughing gas and stuff, and then you just don't even know what the hell happened at all. But they have stuff that you can take if you pay a little extra for, which I guess I did this time because I had a good experience. It was kind of like that watch this, light speed type thing. I mean, I didn't have a visual like that, but I did have a time lapse kind of where it seemed like they were talking faster with the nurses, maybe making little jokes or something with each other, or while they're, and then all of a sudden I woke up or snapped out of it, and I said, "Wow, you only took like 5 minutes to pull 2 teeth," and they said, "No, that was over 20 minutes or something." Like I was like, "Oh, really?" That happened so fast for me. I didn't even know I was out of it. So, and then there was no pain either. So that was like, I did feel something, but it wasn't pain. I felt something in my mouth, but it wasn't pain. And it wasn't anything other than dental, tools or whatever, just so the anesthesia. Yeah, I guess I didn't request it for the second tooth, but the first one they didn't ask me for it, or I didn't. That was an office that was in Yucca Valley Canyon, kind of far from here, closer to where my mom lives in Morongo Valley, towards the Marine base, which is, I guess, 29 Palms, towards Joshua Tree National Park in the desert. That place, they must have used anesthesia because it was a similar type thing. Seemed like I was out of it for about 5 minutes, and I didn't feel barely anything other than a little bit of the tools in my mouth, So, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So yeah, it was just that second one. And I remember I could see out the window, the airport was out there, international, and planes are coming in and out, but there wasn't so many that I remember seeing planes while I was getting it done. But I do remember it did seem like it took like 20 minutes. And it seemed like they just kept leaving the room and coming back. And when they did, I thought, oh good, it's over, but then it wasn't over, So, that was kind of just a little bit brutal, like a gut wrenching, like a wrench in your mouth kind of thing. And they were trying to numb my mouth, and they had something going on that was, maybe they had me on a little bit of the laughing gas, but it just wasn't enough, not that time. And I know because I had a deep cleaning after that, and I was under that, laughing gas, but it wasn't enough either. I felt the deep cleaning. That was another memory. I was like, despite the fact that I have to pay $600 for this deep cleaning, it's like it's worth it because I can't believe a woman just did this to me. I can't believe you what you just did. And you call that cleaning my teeth in 2024, I mean, like, I remember asking her, like, during the thing, I was, am I James Bond? I remember she said, no, you're not James Bond. I was like, this is really something. When I was talking to her, because she was talking to me during the deep cleaning, and I think she was like an Irish type girl or something, but or Hawaiian, or possibly Hawaiian or Irish or something. The other one was Asian, but I found out that she wasn't really the Chinese one, who I thought was the oral surgeon, wasn't really the oral surgeon. So I don't even know who the oral surgeon was that time, the time that really hurt. But I wasn't really crying about it. I just couldn't believe what was happening. I was in shock. And I remember, luckily, I could hear some music. The music kind of helped me get through it. Like, but it sort of changed my perspective a little bit. Hearing like the Spice Girls or something and thinking, oh, I'm not really down with them or something, or I've done something wrong maybe. Or they're not what they seem to be, the nice good girls. Yeah. So I never even found out who that oral surgeon was or what he looked like. So this guy was really cool. He talked to me for a long time, and he saved me. And I'm so glad he did, because I'd be stuck in a 24-month payment plan of what I just can't afford. I don't know. Like I said, the only reason I was going to do it was because I was going to refinance after 3 to 6 months. And the thought in my mind of like, no more pain, because my real appointment to get the 2 teeth pulled was December 23rd. So I mean, imagine all this time. What is it now? Almost 2 months later. I waited that long, and I had to be really careful anytime I drank or ate something, not to bite down on the other side in any way, because, and at the same time, I'd still get like little earaches and headaches, because that's what happens when you have an exposed nerve in your mouth. It affects. It can affect your ears or your head. So yeah, crazy world, huh? 48 minutes into the video. I guess what I talked about last night. I'm trying to remember the things I said, the general subjects. I know I forgot some things, but 48 minutes. Oh, I know one thing I did was I changed the lighting halfway through, so I'll try that again. Try to change the lighting real fast. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. Okay, well, I left the restroom light on. Kind of wonder what kind of difference it would make. Maybe I should try. See what it's like, because I'll need it to know in the future anyways. Okay. let's see. So sorry, so sorry. What is that on the side? Hmm. Oh, I didn't see that side panel before. Yeah, I don't know. It's about the same without the restroom light on it. It doesn't seem to make a big difference. So yeah, it's 3 in the afternoon, 3:13, and the music was really on loud this morning. Not sure what it was, but it had a lot of bass with it. And you know, I'm a music fan. I don't really mind the music. There's somebody really restless upstairs. I don't know if that woman lives up there alone, but seems like a nice lady. But damn, she's restless. She's a freaking ghost, man. If I'm not one. Oh man, imagine. Just imagine. She's doing things like all night long. Like she could be vacuuming in the middle of the night, you know, at 1 in the morning or something. Totally weird stuff that people never do, you know, like the noises I hear. It sounds like she's got her own little Caesar's restaurant up there. When I hear like the same kind of sounds like from the machines in the pizza making machines, it totally reminds me of that. But then again, I'm very much a night person and quiet a lot. So if I'm up all night, I'll be like, um, I don't know, the silence. You know, it tunes me into a lot of things that normal people, I guess, wouldn't really notice from the person above that. Mm. So yeah, it was raining yesterday all day, and I I guess I got caught up on sleep because of the rain. I realized like if I was living in England or a rainy place, I'd probably be I wouldn't have dark circles under my eyes all the time because I'd catch up on sleep. It'd be really nice, but I don't think God needs me to catch up on sleep. Well, I don't know. I can't speak for God, you know, but a lot of times I just don't go to bed, you know, like I'll pass out in the chair and it'll be like a new day, like that's what today is, you know. I could have slept 2 hours or three, I'm not really sure, but a lot of times I just don't sleep in bed, you know. So if I look tired or if I'm sounding tired, it's just one of those days. It's a new day, brand new day, you know. And I know a lot of the things I said were controversial subjects and possibly a little speculation about the future or subjects I'm not the most qualified to be an authority on of, you know, for humanity. But I only want the best for everyone. I want everyone to be able to share the world and all the great things in it and that life has to offer. And I hope that when people are reincarnated or, you know, we die and possibly come back to this planet or wherever we go, that we'll be able to experience peace and harmony and love. And, you know, I got here right after the 60s. I was like 71. And, you know, the Beatles had broken up, I guess, by that time. My mom had a lot of Beatle albums. My dad probably had a few, and I know for sure my dad had a Blondie album. I didn't really look through his collection, but I did see he did have a lot of records that my mom didn't have. They both had good record collections, and Tom, my father-in-law, who kind of raised me in Southern California with my mom, he was a sort of an Eagles fan and a Kenny Rogers fan, and he was into music, so I was able to play the Beatles, or I was able to play anything there on the weekends, you know, and when we would do our chores and stuff, and chill out and make pancakes or whatever, make steaks back in the steak days. Well, some dog's going crazy right now. Yeah, what about those steaks, huh, from the 70s? And my mom used to make me big sub sandwiches. Like, I still remember the way they taste. I was probably 7 years old, but she would put things like I don't know if it was salami or big pepperonis, but provolone, different types of cheeses and meats and stuff. And it was like I'd have this big sub sandwich, like before they even invented all these places like Subway and Schlotchkis and Togos and what's that other one? It's not Quando, but it sounds like that. That's what you say when you forget the name, I guess. So yeah, sandwiches. Actually, I think I'm gonna show something that kind of reminds me of that. I'm gonna try to put two videos together this time, so I probably won't talk. Well, maybe I'll just make a separate video that is showing some of the things that are going on in the world aside from this one, and I won't need to put both of them together um, because this one's already so long. It's 56 minutes already, so see how it goes. Um, so what was I getting to? Oh yeah, crypto. Yeah, I decided to buy some crypto. I mean, wouldn't you expect a poor person to try it if that poor person had one brain cell more than the average retard, which I believe I do. So I tried it out, and I was able to get the crypto without a cell phone, believe it or not. And actually, I bought it and had crypto in my crypto wallet. The crypto wallet I was using was MetaMask, and I think I bought crypto with a transaction called Transact. Um, then I thought maybe I would try out one of those YouTube uh, crypto bots that says that they can multiply your money very quickly and easily. And they have a lot of people that agree with it. But now, unfortunately, I have to be the one who possibly, or one of the ones who disagrees with those videos being what they seem to be. I think possibly if you have a large amount of crypto, maybe up to you've invested maybe $1,000 or more, you might have enough to make those crypto bots on YouTube videos actually bring in some sort of profit. The guy that I was watching yesterday in the video was making like $400 or more than that, 450 in like 15 minutes or something. During that 15 minutes, he had like something like 128 trades or something, and then most of those were unsuccessful, and one of them was like a 12. No, there were like 12 or 13 trades that were successful, and those 13 gave him a profit of like $450 or 415. So he was showing that off, but I think that he made that program, and that was just a bot he created. And if you don't know how to edit that computer language, because I set it up perfectly and I did the same exact thing, but I had like 1,000 trades, more than 1,000, and none of them were successful. The amount of crypto I had was, it was less than $20, but it seemed like why shouldn't it be enough? I mean, how much does it need to do what it's supposed to do, right? Surely there's people that have less than me. That's what it all comes down to, right? you are sort of the wolf of Wall Street. You're taking advantage of the newcomers who don't want to invest anything barely at all. They might put a couple dollars into it and see what happens, over time or something. So, no success. And the problem I found was it seemed that I wasn't getting my liquidity back, transferred back to my second account that I had to open at MetaMask. And what I noticed the problem was was when you make the second account and you have the liquidity there of what you are able to, from what you've transferred from your main account into the second account, that that number should not change when you start the process of the trading and what they call mining, from the people with the smaller amounts, I guess, is how they make their money. Big fish in a little pond, right? Who's the whales in the casino? They're spending the most money, and they're getting the most back because they have enough money to cover their double downs and their games with the high odds, like the 50% blackjack almost, and 48% blackjack, or 48% roulette and stuff like that, or Pai Gow, or not Pai Gow, but Baccarat. The odds on some of these games are actually kind of good if you know the algorithms that go along with profiting from these. And I'm not one to test out all the casino stuff because it would take, I don't know, at least $1,000 to start being able to cover the double downs in a way that wouldn't keep you there all day long for $20 or who knows. It'd be like a job if you didn't have that much money to start with. It would take probably way too long, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm let down by I'm brokenhearted about the crypto. And if anybody wants real advice from what I've learned and what I know about already, maybe I said this in another video, the only one I would buy now, I think, is Bitcoin. Regardless of the hype of all the other ones, it seems like they are all distractions made to profit the main one. So if Trump, somebody like him, he says, "Oh, I've got this coin, or I'm investing all this." Look, for sure I invested $1 billion in this one or something. Well, that's easy to say, but when you invest twice that amount in the Bitcoin, and Bitcoin goes up 100 times in 10 years what you invested, which is what it did, right? According to my understanding, if you would have had $100 in 2015 in Bitcoin, it would have gone to 10,000 in 2024 or something. So that's 100 times whatever you put. So that's what everyone was excited about. That's what the hype was all about. And it makes a lot of sense because, people, if they invested in things on Wall Street, who would know that, Tesla was the one, or that was going to have the highest payback, or Disney or something. Nobody really knew exactly what was going to happen. But now we do know, we can't say for sure about those Wall Street things like Tesla or Disney now, but I would say Bitcoin for sure. I don't know if it'll go up that staggering of an amount in 10 years, but who can wait 10 years for $10,000 from 100, or even if it was 100,000 from 1,000, who would leave 1,000, in there without selling out at some point and saying there's no way it's going higher than this? It would always be in the back of your mind, and you'd be like, sooner or later you'd have to give in, like, oh my god, it's already like 20 times I get 20,000 for the 1,000, and it's only been a few years or something. Yeah, nobody has the patience to wait, really. That's what it's all about, the game of it. So I discourage, you know, trying those YouTube crypto bots with a small amount of investment. If you have enough to cover your investment, and you can try those things with $1,000 or something, because you've got plenty to cover it if it's a scam. Well, if you think it looks like it's panning out, it works out that it's right, then I'd say go for it. But all the people who comment and stuff like that, those could be paid for their words. They could be there's websites you could sign up to where you can buy people who subscribe to your YouTube channel, or who give you likes or comments and things, and it's all legit and stuff. And you can answer the comments and say whatever you want. It's like it all. What I realized was, in the amount of time that the video came out, in like 12 days, there was only like 20 comments, or something. And that's when I realized, like, these people were probably either paid, or they're part of an inner circle of traders that is in harmony with this person. Or possibly another thing, if, like I said, if you could understand the binary language of the computer software or something. I mean, there's all these weird, strange, crazy little words and stuff. If you look at it, I was reviewing it, and thinking, seeing there's all the hashtag things, symbols and stuff. I don't know exactly what to put in or take out, but a lot of those words make me believe that possibly they are sort of making a joke on. They're making a fool out of stupid people or poor people, that wish they could make money like that so quickly. And like I said, even if you did invest like 1,000, I think that particular video, I think, might scam you, because you've got to make sure that your liquidity is still in the second wallet, even when the mining starts. So I don't know how mine disappeared like that. But it wasn't just that, it was like Elon Musk was really the reason I finally decided to buy it. It was like the middle of the night last night, and I saw a video on Twitter that was in a comment section for some other video, and it was just like a random thing that appeared. It didn't have anything to do with what I was looking at, and it had ironically Tucker Carlson was in it, and Elon Musk was saying, go to this website. I'm having a crypto giveaway for like the day on Valentine's Day, and I'm giving away like 100,000 Ethereum. I'm giving away 5,000 Bitcoin. So if you send a little bit to this address, a certain amount, you'll get back double, and possibly you'll win a large amount extra in return of that. So, okay, that would be fine, right? And Tucker Carlson was like, oh, I'm going to do it for sure. He's like, that finally convinced him to, apparently. So I go there, and I thought, well, should I buy Bitcoin or Ethereum? I thought, well, I'll buy Ethereum because I've seen some of the YouTube bots, and I might as well try one of them, because they don't seem too super complicated. I also thought the amount that they were giving away was so much more, or Elon was so much more, 100,000 compared to 5,000. So the difference, though, was with the Bitcoin. I guess you could have given a much smaller amount. I don't know what the price would have added up to, but like the less than $20 I bought was apparently, well, obviously not even close to enough for the Ethereum. What they needed to give the return of the double amount or the reward amount bonus percentage, I guess they needed like half of one Ethereum. So like if one Ethereum costs like 2,000 something, that's $1,000. So you had to send that to an address to get the double in return, right? So stupid me, I didn't read the fine print, and I was in the excitement of all of it. I just sent it. What I thought was the right amount. I just sent half of what I had. So that was before I tried the YouTube bots. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't get it back. It's possible that when the whole thing's over, they'll send my little amount back, but I don't think they will. They said if you're late, they'll send your amount back, but they were requesting a certain amount, and what I sent wasn't in that range, Does my hat say Cheech and Chong? It's my Cheech and Chong gummy hat. Yeah. I still like those gummies. And the funny thing about it is I found a gummy on my porch. Who put that there? It was probably a pina colada or something. It was one of those see-through ones. It was a gummy bear. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was a Cheech and Chong gummy. It was a gummy bear. And it was just like a couple days ago. What the fuck? What the hell is that? And ghost gummy. So yeah, it was so nice that it rained. Oh man, rain in the desert, it's a dream come true. I'm like standing out there in the middle of the night watching the rain, in only shorts, because I can't believe it. So I might have a cold right now. By the time the summer comes and it's so hot for so long, like 8 months, it's pretty hot, like way too hot for me. I need to have memories of snow in the mountains, like, and things like that, like looking up and seeing it in the wintertime, realizing that it is possible in the California to have snow in the mountains or rain sometimes. Try to take in the memories. I know rain in Europe probably drives it crazy because it's just never ending, right? Maybe Oregon, it's like that. Washington, always had mellow vibes. I always liked the vibes up there of the place near Canada, northwestern Washington, Bellingham, and Surrey is part of British Columbia. Vancouver. Even though those are big cities like Seattle and Vancouver, they had what I would call mellow vibes, generally speaking, compared to L.A. in my opinion. But maybe I haven't spent enough time in L.A. But it seems like I have to get the idea of the difference. It seems a little more out of control for me, in my opinion. Laguna Beach, always had good vibes. Pretty mellow on the weekends, everybody in the water, together. Stuff like that. Always watching the sunset together and stuff on those weekends, good memories like that. Even when I was homeless, wasn't the end of the world. Even homelessness in Vegas, I was young enough to, even though it was summertime, to be able to not think about the heat for not stress about it, like, oh, what am I going to do about the heat? It's just like another day in the heat, just another summer day in Vegas. Like didn't think about it. There were a few days where I felt like it was a good idea to just stay in the library and do something, whatever. But yeah, yeah, the rain was nice in Washington too, mellow. It can get very cold there. The snow, yeah, it could be one of the coldest places in the United States sometimes. Possibly. And I love Canada. I think that British Columbia is kind of reminds me of Southern California in a way. Like the desire to party seems to be there, and get together with everybody, and reminds me of South Orange County and stuff, or LA maybe, with all the clubs in LA. I don't think it was just because of the grunge scene getting popular. I think it was more than that. The social togetherness that I felt with Canada. So, see, I think I will possibly make another movie or another video today. I'll just have me on the side, um, show, showing whatever we find, and see if how other people are reacting to some of these things that are going on. Alright, what else do I know? Not much. Not much for now. My video is 1 hour and 17 minutes. Alright, I think I'll stop it and get on to whatever we'll do. Till next time, adios amigos, and adios lapidos. Yeah, see y'all in the next video. Hopefully this one is better than the last.